Hello everybody, this is William Dukes. My name is William Dukes, and today we're going to be going over what today's Black Solutions is all about. The purpose of this new coming program is not as official as it should be, but the purpose of this new coming social media program, the Black Solutions, is to articulate Black solutions. So lessons that I have throughout all of my presentations is to present a solution to the Black community. Black solutions are focused solely upon Black people with Black problems so that we can obtain Black solutions. Today we're going to be discussing subjects is going to change as you look at some of my sites dealing with Black solutions. But today we're going to be dealing with the subject of family. When I say family, I'm talking about that unit that we all know about, that male, that husband, that wife, and those children. Now, I call that the divine family unit. That divine family unit is where purpose lies. We are purposefully made, designed, and supposed to cling to this thing called family. That is more important than anything else on the planet. So my lesson today about family units is dealing strictly with blood family. So if you're hearing this message today, stop worrying about other people outside of your blood. For now, consider this as a blood family ministry. A ministry who's dealing with certain issues like brothers hating brothers, sisters hating sisters, mothers hating daughters, and daughters, mothers, fathers, and sons. This is a ministry, this is a lesson that all of us could take upon ourselves so we can really mirror our position on this particular subject. All right. So today we want to give a clarity of what a family unit, a divine family unit is. It is a mother, it is a father, it is a brother, it is a sister, it is a son, and it is a daughter. All other titles do not exist. Now, the other titles that we call uncle are actually our brothers by nature. This is an African tradition, and this is actually the tradition to nature. All of those brothers, all of those sisters that we call aunties are sisters. Okay? All of those grandmothers that we title grandmother are mothers. They are mothers. So I don't care how many great, I don't know who came up with the idea of great, but that don't work for us. Forget about great. All the mothers of mothers are mothers. Just that simple. So we make it simple. Now in this lesson today, we're going to talk about that family unit being divine and purposeful. All right? The first thing that happens with a family unit, right, is the husband and wife, boyfriend or girlfriend has a baby. All right? And that baby becomes so precious to them. As a matter of fact, they say it in their hearts and they say it in their minds, and they say it in some cases together to each other, that this son and daughter that's born is my pride and my joy. Now, when they say this, this is the first feel of this divine unit, family unit of your blood. This is where it starts, okay? And when I'm finished with this lesson, you'll find that it should not have an end. Never have an end. If son and daughter is a pride and joy to you in the beginning as a baby, grow up, you raise them, and now, where are they? Where are they at now? Where are your sons and daughters? Where are your mothers and your fathers? Why are they so far away? How come the relationship hadn't gotten better? So what happens to this family, this divine family unit, it jumps into another phase. There's a period of deterioration and alienation. And what happened, that period takes place as soon as the adult, the young boy that was your pride and joy, or the young girl that was your pride and joy, become adults. Now that they're adults, for some reason, and I think it's from European influence, we think that they should go away, far away, marry their own spouses, and be happy, be a separate family unit. Well, see, that's not the concept of a village. You see, we miss out on the concept of what a village really is. A village is, again, those we call uncles and aunts or brothers and sisters. And a village is your grown son and your grown daughter staying connected to you in relationship. So now we lose out with that, and we think this is how it's supposed to be. The African American is so alienated from nature, from African tradition, to the point when it's talking about the family unit or dealing or acting in the family unit, we are far from being a family. We think that alienation is okay, but that's all part of that deterioration. Deterioration takes place with alienation, right? And in many cases, we alienate because, one, we move our young that become grown, move to another state, or move maybe to another city. And now that they only own, we hardly ever talk to each other. We hardly ever call each other. We hardly ever go out to each other. Now that we're grown, we're alienated. That's all part of that deterioration. And then in some cases, in many cases, our sons and our daughters has become affected or influenced by crime. They become criminals. But this is the main message. If you don't hear nothing else, our sons and our daughters are criminals, right? They are criminals now. They're imprisoned now. They're probably sick with drug addiction now. And this is when the outreach of family is very necessary. The defined family unit still exists. It's still supposed to stay together in spite of where we are. So if your son is in prison, the ministry that you need is to minister to your son, to reestablish that relationship you had before. If your daughter is selling her body or on drug addict, go out and get her. Reach for her, because she's still your daughter. And this is what we don't realize. It started off as a divine family unit, and it never ends. It never ends. It's a divine family unit. So what you have to do, and this is my message to you, reach out to your son that's in prison, on drugs, in the streets. Reach out to your daughter who's selling her body, or in the streets as well, or in prison. Reach out to them and realize they are a part of the divine family unit. Your blood is your ministry. So you at this church, or this mosque in some cases, right? And you going out ministering to other people, other strangers, other people you call yourself saving the world. But your ministry is not to save anybody other than your blood first. You should put more time and more energy into saving your blood relatives, your daughters and your sons, your brothers, brothers saving brothers, sisters saving brothers. I'm talking about sisters saving sisters. I'm talking about blood. Mothers saving sons and daughters saving mothers and fathers, and sons saving mothers and fathers. Get back with that family unit, because the ministry is that that's your ministry first, before that ministry on the streets. And your church tells you we're going out to feed the hungry. You helping people other than your blood. Your son or your daughters that's fully grown may be homeless. They may need to be fed. Feed them first. This blood family ministry message is that you need to understand that the family divine unit begins divine and it ends divine. And your ministry, I'm talking to you, if your son is in prison or your son has a condition or a criminal in some way and you alienated yourself because of his activities, you have to minister to him. And you call yourself a Christian or a Muslim, minister to your blood, your sons and your daughters. Minister to them. Bring them back because they need you. Remember the unit that starts off as that family, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. You produced a baby. That baby was your pride and joy. But now, remember that day. Remember that day. I don't care how old they are. I don't care where they are. I don't care how big of a crime they commit. They are yours. And you have to have a ministry in them. They need a ministry from you. Father, mother, brother, sister, whether it's father on brother, father on son, father on daughter, daughter on father, son on father, son on mother, whether it's brother on brother, sister on sister, it doesn't matter. All blood, that's the ministry. That ministry is first. And we got to realize that if you put that first, then blessings will come to you quicker than it has been coming to you, because you're helping people out there in the streets who are drug addict, but yet your brother